first note. How are you feeling?
Good. Nervous. Like everything in our
No,
life.
just do what feels right.
Everything in our life.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I like this one.
Sorry, guys.
No, it's okay.
Okay, I was closer that time.
Timing was perfect and no smacky noises.
Yeah,
So.
I really like.
So we started the casting process and I opened up auditions, which was truly mind-blowing, especially since we received over 150 auditions for the role of Elle alone, despite being a short film. And the way that the person who plays Elle came into the picture was, extremely magical. What happened, it's not a joke, this is the truth. So I was just browsing a Belgian casting website, and it's filled with countless and countless of profiles. And I found it quite overwhelming because I was like, how am I ever gonna find the person that I have in mind to portray Elle? And during a family lunch, I shared the website with my mom, showing her like all the candidates on the website, all the pages. And out of nowhere, she said, stop. That girl. And she pointed to this girl who just checked all the boxes, like everything I was looking for. And believe it or not, but that girl is in fact Brienne. And so I just immediately contacted her and I asked her if she would be interested in auditioning for Mind of Thoughts.
Yeah, I was actually inspired to audition. I don't know if that's really kind of a way to say it, but I really was inspired to audition by the text and by the way of the writing style. And also at the first time when Charlotte sent me the text, it was very poetic. And I felt something instantly resonate.
Poetry has always been a vital part of my life since I was very, very young. And engaging with poetry, so reading it, writing it, studying it, has profoundly inspired my storytelling journey, ultimately guiding me into screenwriting. And in fact, poems and just poetry in general often serve as the underlying thread of, basically all my projects. They form a foundational layer upon which I start to build and build and build and build.
It was speaking from a place of truth, and voila, I applied for the casting. Bonjour, hello, hola, hello. I am Shannon Brienne Mizell. I think I would be great for Mind of Thought because I am also an always aspiring actress and dancer, always fighting with the fact of, is it worth it, to the time, the sweat, the tears, the agony of being a professional artist.
I just knew it. Deep down, there was something within me that felt so certain about casting her as Elle. And so I just reached out to her and I said, you are Elle. You got the part. And when we met up, she was exactly the person that I had envisioned her being. So she was so driven, super open, fully committed, and truly grasping the vision that I had in mind for this project.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a very familiar sound.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
Because
Welcome in the sound.
Brienne giving sound direction, who would have thought? There was instant warmth. There was instant feeling of having an idea that she wanted to convey with not just her own mind, but with others' talents. And that was something that I was really, like I said, inspired by, because it's one thing to make something for a commercial or a movie for someone else, but she wanted to make something that was for everyone that was involved in the production. She showed me like her vision board, so organized. Someone like me who is just like head in the clouds, she had head in the clouds, but also her feet were on the ground. And that allowed me to come down with that and run with her.
Brienne is a true risk taker, which is a trait I adore in people. And so her willingness to take the leap with me spoke volumes about who she was and about her dedication.
When she interviewed me, I said, hey, listen, I've done some acting. I've, danced, but I haven't done something just like this. And I just want you to know I'm not a professional. I'm not, I'm also new. And she says, great, me too. So we were both jumping into this kind of like head first. And Charlotte was like leading the parade, leading the gang.
I love it. No, it's... Hey,
and then the one of the other was better again. So the one that we've been using is better than this one, but the in which is better than the other ones.
Okay. So,
I was with my agent and I said, oh, look, I got to audition for this new movie called Minor Thoughts. And I recall that I auditioned for the lead part to be Elle. Hello there. My name is Berthe Njole. I am a Belgium-based actress and originally from Cameroon.
Berthe's audition truly ignited something within me, and her energy was so captivating. And I just thought to myself, like, I want to work with this woman. I need to work with her. And so I just revised the script to create a role specifically for her. And I crossed my fingers, hoping that she would say yes.
I was overwhelmed, to be honest. I was overwhelmed because it's like it's an honor for someone who has never met you before, who has no clue who you are, and still trust you based on a self-tape. You know what I mean? So she saw something in me that was for her, I guess, that matched perfectly her thoughts, minor thoughts, and her vision, I guess. And it was like, wow. I was so, at that moment, I felt blessed and happy.
Over the years, I learned to truly trust my instincts, and I just could vividly see and envision Mrs. Margret in my mind, and incorporating her into the story felt absolutely right at that moment. And I'm just incredibly grateful that Berthe had faith in me and had faith in the story and had faith in the vision, and that she wanted to bring this vision to life.
The enthusiasm Charlotte was showing in her mails, it was like, oh my God, she is so positive. She really, this is a woman who really wants this to happen, and like she was like so involved, and she was so, and you can feel it through the mails, and she was so ready. That's what I felt when I read the mail. I said, okay, she knows what she wants, and she is going for it. That's for sure. And she's so like, you are the character. She was so adamant about that. You are Miss Margret. It wasn't like, do you think? No, she was like, you are Miss Margret. You are going to play that part. That's what I felt. And I say, yes, madam.
For your dance?
And also the fact that Charlotte is so young, younger than me, almost 20 years younger than me, but that she knew, like, she was talking with passion, and she had all those plans, like, because her dream obviously is to work in United States. And because I felt like maybe in a way I recognized myself in her, because I'm also like really interested in the United States, like the English speaking world. But really,
because we cannot take like the white wall, black kitchen. So it's neither black or white. Here we go. Let's roll. Hallo allemaal, ik ben Charlotte. Ik ben een Belgisch filmmaker en ik wil even deze video maken om te vragen of jullie mij kunnen helpen.
When I saw the video of Charlotte, I was impressed by how professional she was, and how good the story was she was telling about, and she was really looking for investors, and I was impressed by her. I felt right away that she could be a good person to make some great projects in the future and even that project.
And suddenly, the thoughts appear, not touching her, just...
I didn't know at the time that I will be so involved in the creative process. I didn't know that she will be like asking us questions, asking us to be with her, to get on board with her, and just to be able to go that road together. So that was great.
It wasn't necessarily Charlotte saying, I want Elle to act like this, be like this, sound like this. It was an exploration, which is something I haven't done before, but it was so beautiful to deep dive into a character that was created by someone else, but has emotions, feelings, hopes, dreams.
We were all open to each other, and we were also ready to listen to each other.
Oh my god.
I was like, oh, this is too nice. I took the train here because I had to get some work done, and I was like,
Oh, I didn't come together.
yeah, because we were going to drive together, and I was like, Berthe, I have so much to finish and work, and I know if I sit in the car, I will not be able to work. But she's taking me home. Hi!
We're back at it again. I don't believe in just handing the script to the actors and just saying, learn your lines, and we see you on the first day on set. What I value so much is just the interaction before filming, the chance to build a relationship, explore the characters together, explore the characters' thoughts together, and just deep dive into the story, hand in hand. And as a writer, director, editor, I do have a strong sense of the world that I want to create, but I'm 100% equally open to the actors' input, because they are, after all, the ones that are bringing these characters to life and are channeling these characters. So the preparation process, in my opinion, is about opening up a collaborative space, and also for them to sort of open up this funnel where we can truly discover and shape the characters and the story together.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go!
At this stage.
And then we'll be standing here because Elle will be sitting there.
Because I see her, of course. Wonderful, guys.
And then George comes
And then George comes in.
And also Elle first, she does look at you when you come down.
Yeah, and I don't pay attention.
You don't pay attention to her, she pays attention to you. I love that.
I'm going to do that first. Usually we just have two. You know what I mean?
And then
The whole time
you
there's
look first?
yeah. Because I think after the second time, the second student say something. That's where I noticed her. I said, interesting. And I don't know got why. Ideas from what we were saying, and she took that into account. And I think that gave me a really good feeling because I felt heard, understood.
I asked a lot of questions, and I felt Charlotte and the crew and cast and the other actors gave a space that asking questions only was a positive thing and only allowed for deeper investigation of the character.
That was a great process to be involved from the beginning, not just coming as an actor and on set. So there were prep, but I think that Charlotte did the prep for absolutely everything. The color, the shoes, the lights, absolutely she was more than prepared. You can tell. So the process of creating together, even though the story was already there, but we were able to bring our own intake, I guess. And that was good. And I realized back to reality. Wonderful guys, but without I mean them. You know what I mean? Wonderful guys. All right. No, keep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah, there will be
This
there.
is the okay. Oh God Almighty! I forgot the dress.
I absolutely love the prep process, but I'm also very careful not to over prep with the actors because I'm a firm believer in leaving room for spontaneity and for play on the shooting days. And that holy zone of creative freedom is something that I will always protect and that I will always stand for. To me, that is the reward that you just reap together after planting seeds in the ground during preparation. And so like creating a sort of shared foundation so that when you step on set, there is a safe space for genuine and organic moments to unfold.
I think the cast trusted Charlotte very well. And that put me at ease as a first. Because it's important that the director and the cast get along well to shoot a film. And if the cast feels good with the director, you have a very relaxed cast who's at ease and is willing to work with you and also step into this rhythm that you're trying to create.
And then there's like a look. And start cleaning the paint that will be on the floor. Mm-hmm. Yes?
Yeah, more naturally.
You have more of it coming in. The joy of watching your characters come alive is just incredible. It just moved me to tears constantly. It's truly breathtaking just to see the people, like the characters that lived in your head for so long, suddenly in the room together with you, fully realized. It's a surreal and in a way a very emotional experience to witness them stepping off the page into the room right in front of you.
Elle Davis. Elle is, she is a beautifully complicated, messy, stunning, artistic, anxious character. Like all these emotions in one.
No, okay.
I'm nothing to you yet.
Okay.
I'm nothing. I found a lot of similarities with myself as an artist, and myself is just a person that struggles with many things that everyone does, but sometimes is not so much talked about or is more suppressed, especially in a lot of, work as a woman. And we come off and we have to be perfect and we have to have a certain mirror that we're putting towards ourselves. And Elle, we were able to see inside her mind and see inside her thoughts. And I think Charlotte saw that within herself as well as a director working in a field, and then saw that within me and the other characters, that it can be an internal struggle and it can be terrifying and it can be fear and it can be so hard to put yourself out there in a field that almost is rooting for you not to succeed. But then the internal thoughts can be only pushing you to try to exceed. And if you're surrounded by a comforted mind and a challenge to go at it really full head on.
I personally love delving into bold and complex characters, and I think that Elle is the perfect example of that. What I found so fascinating about her character is that when she's triggered, she shifts from this soft underdog-like figure to someone who fiercely stands her ground and immediately put up a wall. And I've been very protective of that trait, because a lot of people, when they read the script, they asked me, do you think the audience will like Elle? And honestly, that is not something that I so focus on, because an audience perception is very subjective, and I'm far more interested in exploring her complexity and the shifting ground beneath her feet and the beauty of her flaws in a way. And it's those imperfections that make characters so compelling to me.
She is complex in the sense that it's not the first shot or the second shot do you really get to know her, and even the last shot, it's not the end of her story, it's the continuance of her story. Charlotte did a great job at putting thoughts into words, which is sometimes so hard, and thoughts into dance, and thoughts into a final self-portrait.
I was also very protective of the dynamic between Elle and her partner, Steven. It was important to me that Elle and Steven, that they share a loving relationship. So the conflict in the story is not driven by a lack of love. Instead, it stems from the challenge to understand each other at times and the lingering sense of shame. And this adds a deeper layer to their struggles, showing that even, a couple in love, that there can be moments of disconnect and emotional complexity.
He sees one part of her but can't see inside her head. And when it explodes, it comes out and she feels apologetic and she feels like she wasn't being herself. I felt that. And it's also hard for an artist to try to get someone who is not in the arts world to relate to them. And sometimes that is messy and sometimes that is incredibly scary. Or when Elle has a mentor that she looks up to immensely and puts them on a golden pedestal, in the end, when you meet a mentor, you realize they're a lot more similar to you than you think. And it brings you more back to reality and it puts so many things in perspective.
I think that Miss Margret is a bit this stable character that Elle needs and that she can rely on, even though the way she comes across Miss Margret is really like brutal. Miss Margret is everything Elle thinks she cannot be, although she will be. Even though they don't look alike, but they are so similar in so many ways.
Another crucial element was incorporating the physical thoughts into Margret's story as well, as it reveals and highlights that even extremely successful people also, wrestle with their own thoughts. And without a single word, it serves as a powerful reminder that no matter how accomplished someone may seem, everybody has their own battles. And this ties into my deep admiration for mentors and people who are willing to lift other people up, especially newcomers in any field. There is something I feel incredibly beautiful about someone who has faced hardship, has overcome it, and then shares that journey to inspire others. Because when that person that is inspired also turns around and then can also help other people do the same, it just creates this extremely powerful ripple effect. And I believe that this cycle of support and shared wisdom can inspire us to create more meaningful and purposeful lives together.